and welcome to ACD Camping, the home of woodland shenanigans on a shoestring budget. I'm ACD, and in this video I'd like to discuss the latest entry into Dave Canterbury's 10 C's of Survival. Compass. Now these gadgets come in various shapes and sizes, from this tiny little button compass keyring, which by the way has a major design flaw, being way too close to the metal keys and chains. Metal can knock off quite drastically the ability to find the right direction. Something to watch out for there. Always keep your compass in a separate pocket away from metallic objects if possible. This bells and whistles compass here is what's known as a Lensatic compass. These are generally used in the military, most notably in the USA. They are built in such a way that gives the user a more precise reading when it comes to navigation. Every function and atom on this compass is designed to get the user into the right direction. These are used by the military, so it needs to be precise. Should interest pique with this particular video, I can always at a later date do an in-depth breakdown of this particular type of compass. But as this series and channel itself is for people new to camping or on a tight budget, what we'll be focusing on today is what's known as the base plate compass. And this video in particular is for people who have just recently purchased one of these and would like to get to grips and to know their new tool. But AC, I hear you cry, why buy a compass when you can download an app or get a GPS unit? These things, like most technology, are all well and good, but poor weather conditions can throw them out of whack. And once the battery runs out, you are left with nothing more than a very expensive paperweight. Now, enough of my ramblings. Let's have a look at the parts of a base plate compass, shall we? The base plate is the rectangular piece of plastic that all the other parts are either attached to or etched onto. It's this part that you hold flat in the palm of your hand. This is the free-moving circular device that you can use to help set navigation. This is the big arrow on the base plate. This is the direction you need to be heading once the bearing has been set. The orienteering arrow is the arrow printed on the bottom of a compass dial beneath the magnetic needle. You use this when aligning with a map. The magnetic needle, the red part, should always face north, the white in a southerly direction. The rulers on the side and in the centre of a base plate compass are used for measuring distance on a map. Now, for a moment, let's imagine that we found ourselves stuck in Keighley, West Yorkshire, but we need to get to Skipton, which is the very top of the map. You're unfamiliar with the terrain, you don't know the names of the streets or which direction you're heading, so what do? Well, the first thing you need to do is take your map and find a flat surface, be it a rock or your knee. You then take your compass and using either the side or these little black markings that you sometimes find on them, usually on the base plate, lay it so that the edge and these lines are heading in the direction that you're travelling. What you need to do then is setting the dial so the N points to grid north, which is the top of the map, shall we say. Once you've done that, you can, in some parts of the world, you may need to make minor variations between grid north and true north. In the UK it's very negligible, it's somewhere between -1 and 4 degrees, but in other parts of the world you may need to make quite a considerable change. Otherwise, if you're travelling a great distance, that will send you off in the wrong direction eventually. Once you've got that, you can put your map away at this point, being careful not to accidentally adjust the dial you've just set. Hold the compass flat and close to your body with the direction of travel arrow pointing straight ahead. Once you've done that, You turn your body and the compass until the red part of the needle and the arrow on the base plate of the compass are on top of each other. The direction of travel arrow should still be facing the direction of Skipton, your final destination. Look up from your compass and pick something over towards the distance someplace, like a hill, a big tree or a similar stationary object. Once you reach it, check your compass again, pick a new waypoint. Think of it as like save points in a computer game. Carry on with this walking, checking system through your chain of waypoints until you reach your destination, far away from Keighley. So imagine that we have got everything set and we move from Keighley Centre to Keighley Golf Course. From Keighley Golf Course we see in the distance Airedale Hospital. We travel from Airedale Hospital and we're looking at, say for instance, the River Aire. We head towards the River Aire. We follow the River Aire down until we get to something like here at Hamblethorpe, and then from Hamblethorpe we may be able to see in the distance Skipton Town Centre. We head in that direction. So in summary, here are a few other tips to keep you going. Always keep the direction of travel arrow in the direction you are travelling in. The orienteering arrow should always point due north, the top of the map, even if you are heading in a southerly direction. Always follow the direction of travel arrow. Waypoint landmarks should always be permanent stationary objects such as rocks, trees, fences or other such geographical places. Never head towards a car or a person over in the distance because they will move and that will put you off and you may end up miles away from your intended destination.